What's up guys, Wildland Customs here, and today we're going to take a look at Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise Voyager Optimus Prime. Looks pretty cool. A little bit different from the first edition, I have to say. We'll take a look at his back right now. He comes with two weapons. One is the gimmick blaster. So he presses down, gun pops out, and the light goes on. It's alright. So you don't really get a regular blaster, which kind of sucks, but you have your mech tech weapon, so you're good there. And also it comes with this sword that oddly kind of reminds me of He-Man's sword. I don't know why. But looking at the truck itself, it's pretty good. I have to, to me though, I feel like it's a little stumpy looking. I don't know, maybe it's just a scale how it looks, but I would like it to be a little bit bigger if it looks like this. Here's a size comparison with the first edition Takara Tomy Optimus Prime. Obviously a little bit different when it comes to style. I mean, you can see the size of obviously this one's a lot bigger, but even the style of it looks a little bit different. This has a longer hood in the front, smaller hood. I don't know, I think it comes down to preference actually. Bigger glass in the front here, smaller. I don't know, it's not that bad though. I actually starting to like it a little bit, but I have my opinions, I guess, so not that bad. Obviously you guys watch my videos. I had the trailer from Darker the Moon, the Voyager class one. It fits nicely on this, but this one, the back of the cab is kind of small. Not as, you know, you don't have the extra space where the tab is back here. It's actually over here, so it doesn't really fit that well. If I really do want to keep the trailer on this, I'm gonna have to do some modifications though, but yeah, not that bad. And here's just a little comparison with the other Prime figures. Here is Robots in Disguise Bumblebee. Got Wheeljack. Do you have Cliff Jumper? I don't know where he went. Oh, here he is. Cliff Jumper. Pretty cool. And throw on Rodimus for the hell of it. Alright guys, now to transform this guy. He is not that bad actually. Of course, if you want to, you can skip ahead, but first off, what I like to do is start from the back. Like I always say, I like to just take everything apart and deal with it later when okay, I lied there. Let's see, I like to unhook that first. And then I start in the back. Bring these down. Bring that almost down. Bring the feet down. Always start with the feet first, I feel like. Bring the feet down. It's actually a lot easier, I feel like, than the first edition. After that, you want to take this up, and you kind of want to just break it apart, just the hands, and kind of take the top and unhook it like that. And that's when you just bring everything down and bring the hands out to the sides, just like that. You kind of want to push this up also at the same time. There you go. And bring the arms up flat like that. Alright, next you want to do, you want to see these panels up here. Just kind of want to fold it backwards like that, and you want to rotate the head up. And there's Optimus. Alright, next you want to do, you kind of want to maneuver this so the chest part so it goes up all the way, just like that. And then after that you want to kind of flip these around, just like that. And then this is when you kind of click everything together like that. So almost done, pretty fast. Bring down the hands on both sides. You want to see these fins up here, you just want to fold it down on both sides too. And then you want to bring them down. Straighten up the arms, straighten up the feet, and in the back here, the kibble, you just fold it up, just like that. And there you got Voyager class Optimus Prime. Alright, before we go any further, I forgot to mention, when you transform him, when you bring the shoulder pads down, they actually clip in. And they clip in pretty good too. They stay there pretty well. But alright, so here's Optimus Prime on robot mode, and it looks pretty good. I have to admit, I don't know about some other people, but I had my opinion of this figure when it first got released. It didn't look that great to me, to tell you the truth, but honestly, having it in hand now, it really isn't that bad. Aside from the back kibble and the blue forearms, it really isn't a bad figure, to tell the truth. The back kibble isn't that bad either. It looks worse than it really is, I feel like. But aside from everything else, those two things, it's a pretty solid figure. Here he is next to the first edition, and you can tell the difference between the two. Obviously a little bit smaller. The body actually, like this part over here, is pretty much the same. The legs pretty much look the same, other than it being a little bit smaller and different color. The biggest part, also I have to say, and changes in the transformation, of course, is the chest piece in the front. The front glass is actually part of the actual front glass of the truck. Well, this is actually like a fake part. It's actually hidden. This is not part of the truck in the front. Where his neck is and everything is a little bit different also. This is more detailed, obviously. Wow, this is a little bit smaller and scaled down. I mean, it's still there, but not as detailed. And yeah, that's about it. But overall, it's a pretty good alternative. You can't get this. Looking at this figure, obviously articulation, we'll go into that. Ball jointed head. It actually has better movement, this one, his head. Up and down, all around. Ball jointed shoulders, bicep, elbow, wrist just goes up and down. Nothing in the torso, upper torso. Ball jointed hips. You have a thigh swivel, knee, and toes. So pretty standard articulation for a transformer, but you still get pretty nice poses out of him. He comes with his weapons, of course. It's the He-Man sword, like I said, which is pretty cool. And it comes with the gimmick blaster, which you just press this down, and you get a gun there. I don't really care for this whole gimmick guns. I don't really care about this gun, really. But the best part, like I said, you can always mix and match, use a MechTech weapon, whatever you want. I actually like him using this weapon. This is the blaster from the Takara Tommy version. I think he looks better, to tell the truth, with it. And I actually give my Takara Tommy version the MechTech weapon from Dark of the Moon, which I think looks pretty good on him. Like that. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't even really care for these weapons that he came with. I just actually use the Takara Tommy version weapons, and they all fit in his hand. They're all the same peg size and everything like that. So, yeah, pretty cool. Any downsides to this figure, like I said, would have to be the forearms in the front and the back kibble, but I don't even think that's a big problem. If I had to list problems, I would say those two. Other than that, this is surprisingly a lot better looking figure, and better figure than I thought it would be. And I'm actually pretty impressed at how much I actually like it, and I actually prefer it over my Takara Tommy, to tell you the truth. More versatile, more fun. You get a nice, better. I feel like you actually get him better poses because of the fact that his head can move more, so you could point it down or up. This one, his has a really thick neck, so you can't really do that well, really, even though it is on a ball joint. Yeah. Like, even that, you look at him right there, that looks pretty cool. You know, his head's down, tilted down, deep into his chest. You can pose him nicely and everything like that. Size comparison, this is another big reason why I like this figure better, is because he's actually in scale with Megatron here. He's a little bit shorter than Megatron, but you know, he should be a little bit shorter, so it's a lot better to have this Optimus Prime than the first edition. So you get a nice, you know, matchup between the two. And here is Optimus with some of the other Prime figures. Even though he might be smaller than the first edition, he still stacks up pretty well with the rest of the deluxe classes. He's still pretty good, you know, he's still a pretty big figure, but just not as big as the other one. So here is both of them once again next to each other, and you know, they're both are pretty good figures. Obviously, I feel like both of them have their own purposes for myself. Like, this is obviously the more accurate, screen accurate one to the TV show. I would have this one obviously displayed nicely on my shelf or next to or on my computer desk. Just, you know, just in robot mode, nicely posed and everything like that. Obviously, you can't deny this one is pretty damn good. But this one isn't that, honestly, that just because that one is good doesn't make this one bad. I actually prefer this one when it comes to just overall poses and, you know, putting with the rest of the figures, because oddly I feel like he has more articulation or better movement. You could really, the whole head, I feel like the whole head joint really does make a difference, because the fact that you can move his head down and up really affects the way you pose the figure sometimes. And I don't know, I think he's a little more slimmer, I feel like, also, and he has a little bit longer arms, just like in a TV show. So yeah, I don't know, definitely a really interesting figure, definitely a lot better than people give credit for sometimes, I feel like. Maybe underrated, who knows. Definitely pick it up though. Well, you don't have a choice, you can't get the first edition anymore anyway, so. So that's about it, guys. I appreciate you guys for watching my video. Like always, comment, criticize, subscribe. Do whatever you want, just pay attention. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, guys. Peace!